me just say this, Paula, you have the exact energy that I expected. You're just always everything we see you, and you just have this happy, just kind of just I don't know, there's an energy. It's just
Oh,
you bring a lot of warmth to a room.
thank you. That's
Yeah,
so sweet.
you smile a lot. Yeah. I do too, but I don't know. You got me beat. Okay. Hi, my name is Coco with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Paula Patton. She is the star of Finding Faith. Guys, the tickets are actually, you can purchase them right now, but it'll be available with Fathom Entertainment on June 16th and June 17th. Paula, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
The very first, most random thing I wanted to ask you, because I was like, I just have to know, because I'm like watching this film and I'm just like,
Mm.
what's her skincare routine? Because you really, I mean, it's like, it ain't nothing, you know. You drink a lot of water, like, what's going on? I'm serious.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I do drink water. I do drink a bit of water. What do I, you know what I love? I love
Mm.
a red LED mask.
Oh,
You
is that
know, those
right?
they
Okay.
have them on Amazon. Like you don't have to get the super expensive one,
Oh, that's what I
but
was
like
wondering.
you could just lay there with that on and like let's do
Really?
a meditation or something. I think
Uh,
those are amazing.
see,
And then some retinol, never hurt
and
anybody.
that right, no, no. Again, my sister's a pharmacist, and she talks about retinol too. But the LED mask, I thought that that was one of those like big boy things where it's like we just can't, like only certain
No,
people
no,
can have.
there's
Oh,
one
okay,
on
okay,
Amazon like a hundred bucks, and it's
okay,
plastic. You just lay with it on, and
okay,
it might be 80 to 100. I don't remember, but anyways, you don't have to get that crazy one.
okay.
The
What
crazy one.
now? We know what to do. Okay, so I want to talk about this movie, and I really enjoyed it. One of the things I wanted to tell you is that I think sometimes with faith-based films, they can have a really like a very like high accessibility point. Like a lot of times people, if they're not there yet, they don't want to do it. Like, oh, they
Mm,
talking about Jesus, they trying to for. But this film
mm,
didn't do that. I feel like this film, it allowed people to really experience like actual loss and lows, but then also build up to a point where even your character Faith herself, she wasn't there yet, but
mm,
when she was ready, it was realistic to me. It was like
mm,
it was a real walk.
mm.
So what? Talk about just this film, and I want to talk about your journey too.
Yeah, I think that was really important to us.
Hmm.
We really wanted this to be authentic and true, and I could really relate to it because I was like, I've been on this journey. I've been on this walk. I've lost a lot and
Hmm.
felt that kind of pain and had to rebuild yourself from the inside out and
Hmm.
finding faith again. And
Hmm.
so you wanted that to be an authentic journey that people could watch and
Hmm.
be honest, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that and quite frankly that yes, you want to touch um Christian folk, but I feel like it's for everybody.
Hmm.
Faith
Hmm.
is for everybody,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so if we can inspire all human beings, that's a beautiful thing.
I love that. And then you've also been very honest about your own personal healing journey, and you have a walk with sobriety
Mm-hmm.
that you've naturally very plainly open about. And was it difficult to draw into this role in this film, knowing that there were something maybe some parallels to some extent, just knowing that some stuff might have been a little bit too close?
Mm. You know what? The hardest part was when I had to do the scenes where I was inebriated again because I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't felt that or been that way for 7 years. So it was
Mm-hmm.
really felt very much in the past for me. And so luckily I had a friend of a friend who had recently gotten sober who kind of reminded me and it was like, oh, okay. But then
Mm-hmm.
it was scary. Like when you get to that day and you're gonna go back and really do that honestly and truthfully,
Mm-hmm.
it's without listening to music I listened to back then. I even you tried to find other tricks, whether it was like the night before. I just, anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I just ate terribly. You know what I mean? Just whatever it was to throw like the balance of myself off a bit without obviously
Mm-hmm.
imbibing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
going to those places felt scary,
Mm-hmm.
and but also cathartic. There was some healing in that because I sometimes when you're going through that process, sometimes you can be really hard on yourself for who you were in the past. This helped me
Mm-hmm.
go, I love you. I love all parts of you. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like we only knew it, we could only do as well as we know how, right? There's like, at the time I didn't know any better. I didn't have the tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I could like in this process of going back, I could forgive myself.
Oh, I love to hear that. I have a question about that too. So when you go on a journey like this and you get to the point of healing, I know that there's habits that you have to leave behind, but does it even get to a point where there's even people that you have to leave behind?
Absolutely. I mean, I
Yeah, right.
think it's
Hmm.
kind of weird. They just sort of start to fall away. And sometimes
Yeah.
that can be painful because you might not even be the person who initiates it. It just
Ah,
starts to happen. And so that's part when you take a new path, a lot of things fall away, right? A
yeah,
lot of the creature comforts, all the things that used to sort of feed your ego, they're
right.
going to fall away. And so
Mm,
it becomes it's can be very scary and a bit painful, but it's part of the growth, right? And you have to trust that God is taking care of you in this moment, relieving you of the people and the things that are no longer serving you,
hmm hmm
you know?
I love that you said that. And I'll just share a really short story. There was a time like when we'd all get off work and it was just kind of like this happy hour crew, and it'd be like maybe like 10 of us, and we'd all go
Mm-hmm.
hang out and we'll go to happy hour. But it was literally like almost every day. And then at some particular point, I said to myself, like, why are we doing this? Like, I mean, is there
Mm,
anything else like that's binding this group besides us going to happy hour every day? Because at that point, like, you're not even because a lot of times people try to say like it's like a functioning type of a thing, but it's not really a functioning when you're not functioning like so you know what I mean like
yes.
so when I removed myself from that group, I realized that that's why I was kind of asking that question. I just don't see these people anymore. Like I
It
don't I don't see them.
it is trippy when you change
Yeah,
your frequency. I mean, that's
yeah,
when you get
yeah,
into the magic of life, right? Like it just
yeah.
life just starts to get real magical. You start to just see
Hmm.
all these synchronicities and that certain things just aren't going to vibe with you. But then
Right.
suddenly, birds start chirping,
Oh yeah.
landing on your shoulder. Don't say that.
Right.
Not quite that, but
Sometimes, you just walk in there like I'm like the crazy cat lady now. Like I'll carry around cat food and like feed the strays in there.
oh, I love
I
that.
just I just love animals.
That's beautiful. You know what? It changes what is important to you and what brings you joy.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that for me. Once that happened when I got sober, suddenly nature gave me so much more pleasure
Mm-hmm.
than ever before. Like a sunset was
Mm-hmm.
magnificent.
Oh,
You
yes.
just get back to that childlike nature.
Oh, I love this. I love this. So let's talk about even just being able to work with Keith David and Loretta Devine.
Oh,
I mean, these are people who are legendary, and I mean,
legend.
I can only but imagine even a simple conversation with them is something that you'll want to bank for the rest of your
I mean, besides just wanting to hear them talk, they both have the most incredible speaking voices
Don't
you
they?
can
Yes.
imagine, but just so gifted and talented. I
Mhm,
mean, we were so lucky to have them. It's
mhm.
remarkable. And they come with the wisdom,
Yeah.
like the longer we live life, the more wise we are. And so that they carry that weight with them.
So, working with opposite children sometimes. Well, I wouldn't say that Johanse is really a child per se, but like
Mm-mm.
working with actors who are not yet adults, that can sometimes be difficult. But I think he did a really good job of carrying himself as well. Mhm,
He was amazing.
mhm.
Johans was like, he became like my son, he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so connected because he's really mature and
Hmm.
also really spiritual. Like his faith
Mm,
is super strong. So he connected to the material on a deeper level as well as
hmm
just the acting. And
hmm
that's why I think it comes off so well.
And then also just with a film like this, again, to sort of bringing it back to the theme of the film, carrying it as being actually being faith and finding faith. What has this film brought to your life?
Oh gosh, this film has been well, like making it was just a joy because I loved all the cast from Demetrius,
Yeah.
Nadine, Stephen Bishop, all of them.
Hmm.
Um, and so making it was like making a this labor of love where everybody was really
Yeah.
invested in doing their best work. So that was like fun
Hmm.
play. My favorite game as a child was make believe. So whenever I
Ah.
get to come to set and make a movie, it's like this big game of make believe. And it really filled what I knew I wanted to do, which is that the art that I'm a part of, I want to make sure that it inspires some kind of hope in people.
Mm.
It can take you on a journey, entertain you. I want that. And that's why with our film, it's a bit of a thriller. It's got a romance side to it as well.
Hmm.
But then there is something underneath it that speaks to your heart and mind. And that's
Hmm.
what was important to me.
I want to say one other thing too is, you are an LA native, right?
Yes.
And LA natives, you guys, I don't know, people just really, they give you guys a hard time. But one of the things I always say is like, especially with your energy, like I said, like it's never really the LA natives, it's the people that come there and they bring whatever their experiences are to talk down on LA natives. Uh, you have this, like I said, this incredible, like joyous presence. So you got to let these folks know that don't come down on LA. It's not y'all. It's not. No, it's two people I've spoken to from LA that I think are really sweet, and it was you and Karuchi. She's a really sweet person too. Just nice,
Or
kind energy. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I would like to thank you so much, Paula, for your time. It's been
thank you.
incredible. Yeah, incredible speaking to you. And I really enjoyed the film. I watched and I was like, oh, they got like really, they went kind of low with some of the things she had to deal with too. Like all the tragic. Like, I just, you think a movie is going to seek to be like I said again with a faith-based film. Sometimes they kind of try to wrap it up a little bit, almost like a Christmas movie, right?
Hmm.
You guys didn't do that. I mean, you really kind of like brought me to places that I've been that I didn't really know that I wanted to tap into. So
Right.
I think it's a good learning experience as well. So
Well, that makes me
in,
happy.
in, in,
I mean, that makes me happy. I don't want me.
you always
I'm
happy,
happy
Paula.
that
You
I'm happy
always
it touched you.
no, it definitely did. It definitely touched me, and it made me think about some things, and it made me say like, I'm glad I'm not going to happy hour every day no more either.
Right. When you're
It-
feeling that FOMO, right? You're
yeah,
like,
right,
it's
right.
okay.
Right, right. Or the thing that's really cool to me too is being well, one of the things I do on the side is I actually do work in wine and spirits. I have like a million different jobs, girl. I wouldn't be able to sustain
Yes,
without. This is New
work.
York City. You have to.
I love it.
So one of those things means that I end up traveling to different places. So and having to interface with people. So it's never really a good idea. Like I don't drink when I'm working. Like
Mm,
that just I don't feel like I'm old or I can experience that. Because I feel like even if you have just one drink, we never know, but it really makes a difference, you know? So
mm,
so one of the things I was going to tell you is that it feels good to be able to go to a bar with a friend and just say, oh, I'll just have a Diet Coke. Like I'm good.
right.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. You don't need to be in that, right?
Absolutely.
But
No judgment. Everybody has a different path and can take
right,
or
right, right,
go as
right.
much as they want.
Yeah.
I'm not, but there's freedom. There is
Yes.
freedom. I remember the first time after a while, like at the beginning, I couldn't go out like that.
Right,
But
right,
then I
right.
remember a few years back, even more like 5 years ago,
Hmm.
like going out at night with friends and
Yeah.
dancing and not needing anything. And that felt like, oh,
That felt
that was the
heavenly.
best.
Yep, that
That
feels
was
great.
freedom. That's when I
That
knew I was like, oh, I'm over the hump.
hmm No, I think that especially with you sharing your story and also starring in this movie, I think the one thing that I also the huge takeaway I get from this is there's a lot of people suffering in something but doing it in silence, right? It's
Mm,
not exactly like cool to talk about some of the vulnerabilities that we have. So when someone such as yourself who really seeks to intentionally just sort of bring a light to a place, right? So it's
mm,
like if Paula's in the room, I'm like not gonna expect to have a bad time type of thing, right?
mm.
So the fact that you seek to give people that and that you give us a movie like this and also are very vulnerable about your experience, I think it's there are people that you're helping that aren't gonna say it out loud, but will most certainly relate and appreciate what you've done here. I appreciate you for
Thank you. That means a lot.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. So
Thank you,
once again,
Coco.
thank you once again. My name is Coke, and she said my name. Isn't that so cool? My name is Coke with BlackFilm.com, and of course, I'm here with Paula Patton, star of Finding Faith. She is Faith in the movie. It's a great film. We got some really, really great co-stars she has here, and you can buy the movie tickets now. They are available, and it's a cross collaboration with Fathom Entertainment, and it'll be out on June 16th and June 17th. Thank you so much, Paula.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Bye,
keep
Coco.
keep that kindness and great energy. If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.